So let's go back to our process and very quickly let's edit our process and let's go to apply for each, insert rows. So right here in the miscellaneous, I will not put friends count, I will put something else. So if we go down here and we check out the different fields that we have, I want to put the input that I am using. So we will use the input that is inserted right here, and we will know exactly what kind of text is being created. So just let's clean this up a little bit. Let's clean out all of these tweets. And Power Automate automatically adds a additional column to your Google Sheets or Excel sheets where it stores an ID so that you can reference whatever it has inserted and it knows where it left off so that it can continue from there. In this case, we're going to be refreshing everything. Let's save this and let's test this process one more time and see if this time it is going to insert the search term automatically in the column so that we have a little bit of a cleaner looking document. Let's search for actually RPA. That is perfectly fine. Let's run the process and let's look at our Google Sheet. All right, so we are searching for RPA. This has been retweeted 41 times. There is actually a couple of Twitter bots, as we have created one. Also, other people have created Twitter bots as well, which kind of defines also the purpose of social media. Now let's do one final search and see if we can search for automation. Let's run this process from here and let's insert automation and see how the sheet document is going to look like. Right now, anytime that I wanted to make a search for a couple of tweets in a specific area, I could use my automation and prepare a report on the fly without having to do it manually myself. All right, so now that we have created a process that inserts automatically tweets inside of our Google Sheet document, now let's send an email. Let's learn how we can send an email. Let's go back to our flows and let's create a new flow. So we're going to create a triggered flow as well, and we're going to call this send emails. Let's create the flow and we're going to just leave it as it is. So when we click a button here, this flow is going to be triggered. So what this flow is going to do is going to read a list of different emails and is going to send an email to each one of these people. So let's go to our flow, and what we need to do, we need to get all of the content of the sheet or Excel document that we have. So we have to search for Google Sheets. So let's search for Google Sheets, and we've selected the Google Sheet connector. Now let's select an action that is available for us. Let's use the action get rows. So let's use the action get rows. Now let's pick a file that we want to attach or that we want to get the data from. So we're going to use this email list. We're also going to use sheet 1 and we're going to save this. Now let's test our process and see if we're getting the results that we should be getting. So let's continue and let's run this flow. Our flow has successfully ran. We can download the results and we can see that it has got all of the results with its own format, but we can use this results now inside of our flows, and I'll show you right now how we can do that. So let's send an email to each one of these people inside of this list. To do that, let's search for the connector, and you're getting a hand of this, I'm sure, by now. So let's search for Google Sheets. Well, not Google Sheets, let's search for a Gmail connector. So let's search for Gmail, and also remember to use always version 2 when you see different connectors. So reply to an email or send an email. We have to send an email. So let's try to send an email, and here let's click into the to field, and also let's click here in the dynamic field. Let me just disappear from the screen for a second. Let's click right here in the dynamic field, and we're gonna see this option right here, email, it says. So Power Automate was smart enough to identify that this is the field that we can insert right here, and this is also the title right here, emails. So if we go back here, we can see emails. it found that title, and now it's going to send an email to each one of those rows inside of that document. And that's why it also has created an apply to each. So this is a loop that it has created automatically for us. So let's add a subject here. This is and let's generate this and let's test this out and see if our process works. So let's save this. Let's test our process manually. And we can see that the process has successfully sent all 4 emails. So it has sent email 1. We can cycle through the different emails that it sent. This is email 2, and it has also used email 3. We can also see the row inputs that were used right here. So it has sent 4 emails. I could have also customized this a little bit better just to make it a little bit more understanding. So right here in the subject, I will add a name. A name is also the other column that I have right here. So let's automatically just on the fly save this and send 4 more test emails and see what happens with that. So like this, we have learned how we can create and send dynamic emails. So let's say we have a list of orders, of customers' orders that we need to send to different customers. Each customer has a different delivery date, different date, due date, different ID order, and we want to summarize all of those inside of an email. No need to write them individually. We can write them. We can complete them with Power Automate and send them automatically. So let's check out also some of the emails that I have been receiving in the past few minutes. And here we have the latest emails that I have received just now that we have sent. So these are the 4 emails that we've just sent with the different names. So they were all sent and they were all received successfully. So that is how we can create an automated a flow that is triggered. So if we go now back to my flows, I can trigger this flow automatically from here and just run it. Well, that is it. We have learned how to create 2 kinds of instant cloud flows. One that writes inside of an Excel sheet and one that extracts from an Excel sheet. One that automatically collects tweets from Twitter and one that automatically sends emails. So far you have learned how to create automated cloud flows and instant cloud flows. Now let's create a scheduled flow.